So good evening everyone, and welcome back to GT Sport and GT1 for round 6 of GT60. And for this evening we are at Tsukuba. So just starting quality at the moment. We've got 7-minute quality and we've got 3 races to come this evening. I am on my own this evening, so you have to listen to my lovely voice all evening. If there is anyone on the channel, can you let me know about the microphone level and all that, make sure it's alright. I am on a old, very old mic this evening from about 4 years ago. That's my newest one doesn't seem to be working in the past week, so I have no idea. So double check it's alright. It's been lying about for ages, so I have no idea how it's going to be this evening. Fingers crossed it's alright. I'm trying for the last half an hour to fix it, if we want to work. So I'm old one, so if there is anyone in the chat, please let me know quite early on if you just can't hear me and the sound and volume's alright. That would be fantastic. Right, well, that's Tsukuba, as I mentioned, very tight, twisty circuit, short circuit as well. 55s we're expecting tonight for quali. I would imagine maybe into the low 55s, 55.3, 55.2 possibly for quali here, depending on how clean the laps are. Line Essie is going to be the first to cross the line. He's going to do a 55.7. There we go, straight into the 55s. There we go, SUI 55.8, 56.1 for Lee Cole, 55.6 for Cartman, 55.6 also for T Smith, just behind Line Essie. Starting his next lap using P3 at the moment. Good evening, Pete. Is the sound alright? Let me know, please. On an old mic, so just want to double check. Perfect. Thank you very much. Right. Pagani 55.9, a little bit off of his normal times around here, so expect him to move up. 55.9 blue flag as well. Line Essie then, let's have a watch at his second lap. So I think the whole time GT1 was 55.4. Bear in mind that was Aaron, who does seem to have got to grip to his wheel a lot quicker than possibly expected. So behind that it was me and Wesker on 55.6s. So definitely, as Aaron goes provisional pole, definitely expecting about 55.4, 55.3s at the very least, I would expect this evening. Keep an eye and see how we go. Definitely expect it a little bit quicker to come. There's still plenty of time left. There's a lot of laps you can get around here in these cars. Danny improves. 5.7 though. He's a little bit off. I'm sure he said he could regularly do 55.4s to 55.6s, so but he's a bit off what he was at in practice. So expecting him to get a bit better. There we go. He's personal best for sector 1. Let's have a nosy at Pagani. Should go on board as he goes through this tricky right then left, possibly the trickiest corner on the track. SUI improves, is well up on his time. Pagani getting that apex. Some people tend to go for a late apex on that one. Pagani getting a nice apex all the way around. Cartman improves, still behind Aaron though. Aaron's dropped out of GT2 now. He was just in it to practice with his new wheel. He didn't quite expect to be as quick early on as he has been. Pagani has improved. He's still P3, still more time in Pagani's lap. And there's more time in Aaron's, to be fair, as well, because Aaron did quicker than like last night in GT1 in quali. Fairness, his race pace wasn't quite at that, so I'm not sure if that was a bit of a perfect lap last night, but he did go quicker last night in quali. So a lot of time to be found for, I think, some of these. Definitely. Pagani, once again, sure it was quite as quick as the last lap. And there. It's purple though. Well, never mind. I'm talking rubbish. Gets on the power nice and early. It's a good thing about that Subaru. It's pretty nippy when it gets off the corner. Very good acceleration on that Subaru compared to most other cars on the grid. Pagani getting that late apex and then accelerates out. And he's still there yet. It just doesn't seem to be clicking yet for Pagani. He's quick enough to get pole round here. T. Smith as well. Oh. Languishing around the 55.5s to 55.7s at the moment, most of them. So we'll see. As we have got traffic here, the best place to be at all here. It's a very good line either around the last corner. Ross, he's on 55.8. Oh, we need to get some space, to be honest here. Blue flag well up on his time at the moment. He is in the Subaru as well. Subaru is a decent car around here. It's Subaru's strength is acceleration off the corners, and this track kind of suits that. It's got a lot of acceleration zones, a lot of these tight twisty corners, so it's launching off the corner. Pagani, there we go, that's a better lap from Pagani. Still not in pole yet though, but much better. Blue flag improves. 55.7. He's losing his time in the last sector though. He was purple for sector 1, so the last two sectors is where he's losing time. Leacolt is going to be getting a tiny bit of slipstream possible here down the back straight towards the start finish straight. Maybe a little bit. And that's Subaru though, so he's very wide. That's not a good line at all there from Lee. That's a shocking line. He's going to start his last flying lap though. SBY improves 55.8. Aaron's still on provisional pole on his wheel. Here we go. As I say though, he went quicker yesterday than this. So shows you the pace that Aaron has got on that wheel straight away. And he's coming now round the middle sector. That's tricky, right, left. Flings it into it. Oh, he's very wide. Oh, that's ruining that lap, I think. Yep, he's got a penalty as well. That's a shame. All over for Aaron. He needs to hope this lap is good enough for that pole position. Leacolt, Linus getting out of the way there. Leacolt, Cartman also getting out of the way. Seems to be improving on the laps here, which is surprising. Ross improves though, 55.7. Leacolt, is he going to improve? 55.7 as well, but he doesn't improve his position, unfortunately. Maybe it's just me, but I'm surprised. I thought some of them, by the look of some of the times in practice, might have been a wee tad quicker than this in quali. And I think there's a few that are out of position quite significantly. Unsafe release all the way down in P11. SBY down in P9 in the Lancer as well. It's very tight. But yeah, there's definitely quite a few here that I think might be a bit gutted with that quali performance for some of them. I think it's that kind of track though. You can't get stuck in a rotten quali, and they seem to all been doing the same tactics. It's very, very tight. It must have said there's 3 Thames covering top 9 places. It's the nature of the track ground here. So starting off on pole position is Aaron. What a return to GT1 this is for Aaron, taking pole position. Pagani alongside him, starting on pole position. And I'm very surprised, Graham, that puts GT2 in quite a good light yesterday. The times are very similar. Aaron and Pagani into turn 1. Pagani down the inside of Aaron, and he's moved up into P1 off of the start. Aaron still trying to hang it around the outside. I think Pagani will have that though. Cartman having a look at Aaron and Pagani there. Aaron's still there. Pagani still giving them room. Aaron's back in. Momentary in P1, then they're going to go side by side into the right hander and giving each other a lot of space. Aaron's in the lead now. I think Aaron's got it again though. Pagani is still just about there. Not had to look down the back of the field yet. Still keeping an eye on this battle for the lead at the moment. Aaron seems to have won out. Good wee battle that on the opening lap. Cartman in P3, then got Linus coming in P4. T-Smith moves up 1 position into P5. Ross is P6, blue flag then Leacolt. SUI unsafe, still languishing down in the back end of the field, which is unlike them. They're usually right up the very top. They've got a lot of work to do, and it's not an easy track to overtake, as you will find out. There is a train that will develop around here, I have no doubt about that. There's a lot of laps you can do around here, 21, 22 laps in a 20-minute race, a lot of laps. You can get very stuck behind cars. There's no real main overtaking spot, to be honest. Up turn 1's about it. You need to be kind of opportunistic with your moves around here. You need to be waiting on some mistakes, to be fair. There's not really anywhere else you can do it. Down at this hairpin, you can make a move, but once again, you do have to be very, very close, so it does need to be a bit of a ballsy move. Down the back, Bread, a little bit of drift, hopefully he can catch back up, so that's big, massive train, that's going to be fine. Aaron's still out in the lead, got a bit of a gap to Pagani. We've seen what he could do on race 1 last night. He absolutely flew in race 1. He was very... Pagani's very wide, he's alright though, he's fine. I think a lot of us done that last night, I've done it quite a few times. A little bit too much speed into that final corner, and a little bit too wide. Doing quite bad, but I don't actually hit a wall. Still, like to avoid doing that. Exactly, help your efforts. But skirmish there. The power, let's see, release also. But twitchy on the power. Ross still P6 behind his teammate. There's blue flag and Nico, both in the Subarus. Pretty decent cars around here. It is indeed, Graham. I did say the pole time wasn't representative, I didn't think, of this kind of pace in GT1. I didn't think, and I think that can be said for 90% of the drivers. I think a lot of them were a little bit off what they can do in quality there, and straight away that's beating the pole time. So I think that'll be I think every single race will have a lap time quicker than pole. There's Aaron Purple again through sector 1. So rapid times, and he's got a second lead on Pagani. This is very impressive, man. We saw how quick he was in GT2, sorry, on that new wheel. That was why he was in GT2. He's got this new, he's had a wheel for a long time, but he's finally transitioned to full time on his wheel, and therefore I thought he was maybe a little bit slow initially, but he was pretty damn quick straight off the bat, and as we've seen in GT2, he's got quicker and quicker, and he's back up to his normal GT1 pace here enough now, and hence he's currently leading this Grand Prix. There's the one, Tsukuba, a little bit wide, but he's alright. Lioness still P4, so that actually call and SBY trying to find a way through. Lee Cole defending for all his worth, and just very nicely. It's an easy car to defend with that Subaru. Keep it tight to the inside. It's good off the corners, so as long as you can get your rub lines right, difficult car to overtake in the corners, that's for sure. SBY though is in that Mitsubishi. It's a decent car around here. As I seen last night, I think it was Wesker, I think was in the Mitsubishi. Oh, who is that? That's Kusker. Was that Kusker? Oh, it's unsafe actually. It's unsafe. Apologies, unsafe. But it was Kusker initially. It's unsafe. Power a little bit too quickly, and off he goes. Quick lap times for Aaron. The first 3 laps very consistent, and he's not far off, to be honest. Now he's starting to match his times. Cartman is very much there though, and fighting with Pagani for P2. Best lap time for Cartman, 55.6. Lionesi currently in P4, also doing 55.6. A lot of these times are much quicker than some of them are doing in that quali already. There's T Smith, Purple through sector 1, heading up towards the back of Lionesi. Ross is your daddy in P6. There's a wee bit of a gap behind them to blue flag. Decently script this, the 2 Subarus and the Mitsubishi. Right, left, and towards the hairpin. He thinks of the move. You see a lot of trains around here. It's quite a difficult track to overtake, so this will be a bit of a theme, I'd imagine, throughout the night. Stuck behind each other, so keep an eye on this. Very close to the blue flag through there. Blue flag a bit wide as well. A little bit too far back though. T Smith and P5. Ahead of him. There's Hartman. Garney and Aaron. All he's doing very consistent lap times around about 55.6, 55.7. They're all kind of matching each other now. Ross slightly off the pace of that. A couple of attempts a lap. Catch up, I think. Blue flag. Starts this train. And Nicole and SBY. It's Kusker and P10, Bread, P11, and unsafe covering after that. In fairness, unsafe release. I don't think his car is particularly enjoying that so far. That Honda doesn't seem to be particularly enjoying itself around here. Present. It's a tricky wee track, as that's Lioness trying to go round the outside of Cartman at turn 1. And now side by side, camera angle's going to change. There we go. Side by side still. Lioness seems to have got it round the outside. Great move from Lioness, and he moves up into P3 in that Renault. That Renault's a good car around here. It's good on the corners, and there's tons of them around here, so it will excel around here. Possibly its best track of the season for the Renault tonight. Tsukuba, who very much suits that Renault, probably even more than the Subaru. Renault, very good car around here. T Smith in that BMW. Should be fairly decent around here, but quite as good as the Renault or the Subaru around here. Probably not. A car he picked this season, the BMW, not the easiest, and he's went for a challenge. I think I have to look back at Lioness, and it wasn't too far back. But just showing Lioness he was still there. Ross, slightly to the back of that pack. That gap behind is going for Noah. I think that's kind of very slightly holding Lee Collin SVY up. I say there's really anyone to go around here to overtake, so I'm not sure how he's going to deal with that. Aaron is extremely consistent at the moment, and Pagani's had the odd 1 or 2 laps, which should be a wee bit off the pace, 56.3 lap 7, and that's caused that 1.8 seconds gap. And as you see, the optimal of Aaron's times are 55.3 at the moment, so that is a very, very quick optimal time. Very quick round here. Pagani hasn't really got an answer yet to this pace of Aaron. Goes up to 1. It's one of those tracks that's not. I say that it's a short track, so these wee mistakes are amplified around here a lot more. Everyone's very close together around here, so a tiny wee mistake can lose you a position or 2 around here. Whereas in other tracks, it might not lose you anything. Because it's so tight and twisty. Everyone's always in these trains that don't really make any mistakes. It really can cost you. Maybe you found that out last night. Simple, yeah, it can. 5-6 minutes. Pagani still watch very closely. Lioness is very, very quick around here. Pagani very close. He's not really used to this, to be fair. Well, he is with it. He tends to be the person out in the lead. Not as used to being chased as much Pagani. And here, Ross is now there. Say, if he quickened up his pace, and as you can see, he did quicken up his pace. He was at 56 flats to start this race, and he has quickened up to the pace of the front runners, 55.6 and 55.7 and such. And that has caused him up to the back of this pack. Aaron is still by far the most consistent. As you can see, he's doing 55.4s, 55.5, 55.6s, 55.7s all the way through this race. He's not done anything below a 55.7 so far. From lap 1 onwards, obviously. That's mightily impressive from his couple through sector 1. This is one of the best opening 10-minute performances we've seen in GT1. This is very, very impressive, man. And considering he was in GT2 for the first half, this is his first race back in GT1. This is absolutely lightning quick from Aaron. If he can keep this kind of pace up, Pagani is going to struggle to close that gap. Lioness has made a mistake clearly, as he has lost touch with Pagani, and he's now got his teammate Hartman, who is stopping the rear of that car. Lioness is outside the slipstream range as well. Pagani, who's Hartman has a bit of an advantage here. Quite, actually, is he out? No, he's just outside slipstream range for Lioness. This battle for 7th, 8th and 9th, well, we've been watching up front. Lee Cole seems to have displaced the blue flag. The blue flag getting a a little bit sideways there on the exit, and that's allowed SBY round the outside. Blue flag defends. SBY goes for the switch back. Blue flag very ballsy on the brakes. Defends. Just about for SBY. So Leekall is off and running. He's got a massive gap though to chase to this pack here. The two teams, Ross and Tom, catching up to the team of Line SE and Cartman. And Garney is still well behind Aaron, and that gap is actually still increasing ever so slightly. So let's have a little look. Red. Leekall, I think his pace will start to increase a little bit now. There we go. Purple through sector 1. That's the kind of lap times I think Lee was capable of. I think he was getting held up quite a bit there from Blue Flag, and now he's been released. He's going to start to show his proper pace now. And I think this will be a personal best. There we go. 10th up on his personal best lap time. On course by 55.7, which is significantly quicker than what he's managed in the last few laps. So Leekall away now, and can start to chase after cars ahead of him. Big gap though, and the slowest lap of Aaron's race so far, and it's a 55.9, which isn't exactly slow, put it that way. Has given Pagani though a chance, as he's just set a personal best 55.4. So quick pace from Pagani, and Pagani's got a bit between his teeth at the moment, as he's just set a purple lap time by over a 10 through sector 1. Never mind, there's not many corners in sector 1, it's basically one corner. That's quite impressive from Pagani. So is this battle over yet? 6 minutes remaining, and to be fair, I don't think Pagani's capable of doing more than 2 or 3 times quicker than Aaron a lap at the very max, and even if he got that, he still has to overtake him. So this is very much in Aaron's hands. Aaron probably, I think, needs to make a mistake for Pagani to get past him. Pagani can go a wee bit quicker than Aaron possibly, but not as much as he needs per lap. So Aaron making an error at the moment. Aaron's driving pretty impeccably, so unlikely. Blue flag has been overtook by SY, and he's now languishing down at P9. Leekall at the moment will be having pole position for next race, as it's a top 7 reverse. So Leekall at current is on pole. And I think it might stay like that unless there's something ahead, because he's got a massive gap ahead of him, which is unlikely to be breached. Highly unlikely to catch up unless there's a bit of a mistake. Broadcast that not been worried. Asking if Aaron's points carry over to our first. That's not good. What's happening? Cartman and Lionesse battling each other. So Lionesse, Cartman was in front initially. Lionesse got past Cartman. Cartman's now got past Lionesse. This will be the main battle until the end of the race here. Battle for the last podium place. Top two are pretty comfortable at the moment, finding any issue. He's been very on the back on the line, that's not him, so one of those tracks, where do you go? How would you get past someone? You really do need to make a mistake, like you really do need to go for it. Race 2 and race 3 I think will have a lot more action though. Race 1's always the, well, it's not boring, but it's always the most unexciting race of the evening, because it technically is the real pace of the cars and the drivers. Unsafe release is having an absolute dire evening so far. His lap times are way down in the rest of the field in the 56s. He's not managed at 55 yet. I don't think he destroying life at Tsukuba in that Honda. It's not a Honda actually, it's a Hyundai, sorry, apologies. I was thinking there for a wee second, I was like, wait a minute. I initially thought he was in the Honda, I had to look at it and I thought, actually that's not the Honda, I was like, Aaron still Pagani. It's close slightly, 1.5 seconds. Pagani still second. Last few laps very, very consistent. Flat 55.5s. Cartman still ahead of Lionesi. T. Smith and Ross. As you work with these, Lee Cole hasn't managed to close that gap at all. He is going much quicker since he got past blue flag 55.7s. So much quicker from Lee Cole. Blue flag opening by cusp a little bit. No man's land now. Kind of just driving around waiting for this to finish. This group to front to second, so still in front, 1.5 seconds. What a return back to GT1 this would be. Dodgy middle set to Ferrari though, 1.2 seconds. Now it's coming down, but it's just not enough for Pagani. There's only maybe 2 laps left. 1.2 seconds is just too big a gap to reach unless Aaron makes a mistake. Cartman's doing a good job of Lionesi. Is this all to go and change? We're going to finish as is. More than likely I'm going to finish as is. Unless one of them goes for a bit of a ballsy move. Once again, decent first sector from Pagani. It's closing, but put him under a bit of pressure possibly, but Aaron still a bit in the bag. Look at the times though, he's not had a 56 lap all race. Every single lap has been in the 55s. Within 6 tenths of his best every lap. I think every lap's actually been within half a second bar one of his best time and the best lap of the race. On to the last lap we go. It's under a second. It is under a second. But unless Aaron makes a mistake here, it's going to be Pagani. Still Cartman, Lionesi, T. Smith and Ross behind the top 2. It's closing quite a bit now. It's under 3/4 of a second. He's right there now. He's in slipstream range, but it's too little too late for Pagani here. Put him under a little bit of pressure possibly, but Aaron has got this covered. He just has 2 corners to go. Here we go at the hairpin. Aaron around it nice and clean. And away he goes, accelerates off. Still a little bit outside the slipstream range, just which keeps him ahead, and he comes to the final corner. His first race back in GT1. And he's nicely round the final corner, and he's going to take race 1. Very well done to Aaron. Pagani takes P2. Cartman is going to take P3. Race long battle with him and Lionesi. T. Smith P5. Then it's Ross. Lee Cole gets pole position for the next race by finishing P7. SUI P8. Blue flag takes P9. Cusker P10. Bread P11. I think Unsafe will be quite pleased this race is over. As he's going to come home in P12. I don't think he enjoyed himself in the Genesis. He's going to reverse across the line now. There we go. Unsafe reverses across the line. So Aaron takes a victory in race 1. And a very dominant victory there, led from start, well, not start to finish, but end of lap 1 to the finish. got back past Pagani. Good opening battle in lap 1, and then after that it was a bit of a procession. Pagani closed right at the very end, but not quite enough to try and challenge. This will be the start of the interesting races then, as 7th starts on pole. Reverse grid for the first 7, and then as you were for the guys behind that. And I think we've got Lennon in for this race, so he'll be starting at the back for this one in P13. So we're now up to 13 drivers. Only one off a full grid, which is nice to see. So this is the third last week then on GT Sport. 2 weeks left after this. We've got Kyoto Yamagiwa next Thursday, and then after that it's Brands Hatch. So we've done Brands Hatch Indy earlier on in the season. Now it's the full Brands Hatch track, full layout. So that's coming up in the next 2 weeks, and then that will be GT all done. We've done 16 seasons of GT in FTRL since GT Sport first launched on PlayStation, and this is the final one until the new Gran Turismo game comes out next month. So that will be the start of a brand new season, brand new game, and hopefully I think we've got bigger lobbies coming as well, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of people joining FTRL for the new game. We've already got quite a lot of people joining GT2 from F1 recently. Wesker, Adamako, Sway, and Graham obviously, who is watching. They've got a very good race result in race 2. And obviously with Aaron moving up from GT2 to GT1 once again, that means he has sacrificed his place in the championship. So that means I think it's currently Jonesy who is top of GT2 now. And we battle for the last 2 weeks. GT2 for the championship. In terms of the GT1 championship, I've not actually got the table. I don't actually have access to it, but you'll have access to it for next week. Get Aaron to send me it for next week. If I'm on comms, not sure if I'm working, but possibly it might be me on comms, maybe someone else. Should be starting any second now, hopefully, for race 2, and then after this it'll be a full reverse grid of the results in race 2. And to be honest, not so much this race, as the top 7 is just reverse, but race 3 anyone can win race 3 round in GT1 in particular. GT1 is very, very tight, as we've seen in quali and pace wise, and because of the nature of this track and how difficult it is to overtake. Genuinely, all 13 could win race 3. Any single person, there is no one you can rule out for race 3 in GT1. It'll be very, very open to see who will win that race. But a very, very interesting podium for race 3. It was at least half of the grid at the most there. half of the grid at least actually, so we need to qualify at least. So quite a few of them that are a little bit off maybe on quality, but it's such a short track that a tiny mistake can cost you positions in the quality. Showing how to do Tsukuba backwards. Actually, there's a question for the chat. What does everyone think of the new F1 cars are out? Obviously, I'm not going to ask what anyone thought of the Red Bull because it was genuinely just a Red Bull livery on a concept car from last year. But what does anyone think of the Aston and the McLaren in particular? Oh, the Haas, to be fair, even though the Haas isn't really. Yeah, it's Haas, so that genuinely could do that car to be fair. So that's it, we'll recall starting on pole, I believe here. Aaron will be starting P7 because he won race 1. Garnet will be starting P6. So we were at Lico and Ross to lead us away. Both in the Subarus, both very quick off the line, these two. So it should be Lico leading into turn 1. Let's find out. As we get underway then for race 2 here at Tsukuba, Lico will lead us away. He should get a good start, and he does indeed. Ross actually does get a decent start as well though. Ross has actually got the jump possibly. Lico trying to hold it around the outside though. Going to go wheel to wheel. And Ross I think just about has this at the moment. Lico is still there. But Ross takes the lead of the race from Lico. Lico will try and find a way back past, but Ross is still in lead and heads towards the quick right left. And Ross maintains the lead. T. Smith stays in P3, Lionesi in P4, then Cartman P5, Pagani P6 and P7, so they're all as they were for the P7 really. Aaron to defend a bit from blue flag. SVY in P9, that's a Prosper. Lennon up to P11 from P13, unsafe is P12, Red's down the bottom at P13, Ross leads, Blackburn, T. Smith down the inside of Lico, and he's up into P2 on the braking. Can he hold it? Lico trying to hold it round the outside. T. Smith I think will try and defend us, but always might try and keep that place. Lico is going to go side by side with Lionesi now through turn 2 and into the braking zone. Lico as the inside, Lionesi trying to hold it all the way around the outside, but Lico will have it, and he keeps P3, Lionesi then in P4 behind, then comes Cartman, Pagani and Aaron still P6 and P7, they have not changed position at all, those two still as they started, but T. Smith is the person who has got the jump on Lico, and it's now a 1-2 for Team Ross. Ross is team leader, somehow that team. Even though Tom has won all the championships, Ross has been nominated as team leader, so that'll be good on that one. But they're a bit of a husband and wife duo, those two, Ross and Tom. Doing well this evening, first and second. Cartman and Lionesi going back at it. These two seem to be at it constantly with each other this evening so far. Cartman P4 then, Lionesi P5. Pagani and Aaron still watching briefly at the moment, seeing what's happening in front of them. No major rush at the moment, but they will have to get a move on at some point if they want to move out of the field. But it's easier said than done around here. There's not a big difference in lap times between the cars and the drivers in this division. Therefore, it'll be extremely difficult to make your way through this red. Unsafe already in front of red. Really enjoying this. Unlike unsafe, he's just, I think it's a mixture maybe on the track, and I don't think that car is Tsukuba very much. 55.8 then for Ross, 55.8 for SBY as well. Leacolt, a little bit wide there. That BMW always is a bit twitchy there. It's just the nature of the car, but it always looks like it's about to head off into the grass and hit a wall or something. It always manages to control it, but it does a twitchy car to handle at times, that car. And he's well adrift now of his teammate, 1.2 seconds, and he's got Leacolt all over the back of him. Luckily, T. Smith has got a much quicker car on a straight line than Leacolt. He's going to need it here as Leacolt tucks in behind in the slipstream, head towards the final corner, and because of that advantage of straight line speed, keeps him ahead of Leacolt. And maintains P2 as they head on to lap 5 now. Who's that wide there? It was SBY. SBY is very wide. He's hit the wall. He's done what I did last night. Do not recommend hitting the wall on the outside. SBY taking lessons from me from last night. Not something I recommend at all. Ross, 1.4 seconds now. Smith. Still got Leacolt right behind him. Then comes Cartman, Lionesse, Aaron and Pagani then. Aaron, sorry. Big gap behind Blue Flag. Blue Flag is always a bit of a bust, and he's being an absolute coach. Not even a bust, a coach today. He's letting him through. I think he's letting SBY through. I think he's letting SBY through. I think that collision caused SBY and the wall going to be Blue Flag's fault. Have a look at that. Blue Flag being generous and letting SBY back through. Nice to see Ross still ahead of his teammate, as you are for this top 7, and I think we're going to have a bit of a race-long train here, barring any incidents. There's a big gap behind as well. It looks like it was these 7 and a bit of a train in race 1. Well, the top 2 that went off in 1, and it's the same in race 2 here. These 7 seem to be the quickest 7 this evening. Everyone behind a little bit down on these 7 and on pace at the moment. This could be an interesting race to watch with these 7 trying to get the win. It's eventually going to get spicy, I'd imagine. I don't think they're going to settle. So we can see Ross just up in front of them. And I don't think Ross will mind me saying this. Ross is quite prone to bidding it, choking a lead. Hopefully I'll just get a few jumps. Hopefully he doesn't. So he can bid it when he's in the lead this evening. But yes, Ross does tend to like a bit of a bidding action when he's in front. So far, so good. He's 6 behind him. All separate, 2 free attempts on each other. It's a monumental FTRL train here from 2nd to 7th. Behind this lot, you've got Kuska, then Lennon P9, SBY P10, then Blue Flag, Unsafe, and Bread. Cartman, and what's Cartman doing? Best attempt at number 2 there. Lionesse trying to have a look at Leacolt. Leacolt trying to hold it round the outside. I think Lionesse will have this. And then Leacolt might be overtaken by Pagani. He is indeed. Pagani's round the outside. Same livery, same car as well. And the Subaru. And Pagani manages to get past. That would be confusing if it wasn't for the numbers. Names. Exactly the same car. Fighting each other on track P4 and P5. Aaron's also past Cartman as well. So Cartman little bit opportunistic, I think it's fair to say, on the call at turn 1, and it kind of started a bit of a cumulative effect, a domino effect, which resulted in Pagani and Aaron moving up a couple of places. Cartman's trying to go back round the outside of Aaron though. Still extending that gap. He's going quite a bit quicker, I think, than what he went in race 1. He's consistently in the 55.7 at the moment. There is Ross in the lead. 2.6 seconds clear off the field. And that's allowed Pagani a decent run on him, and he's going to have to go the long way around though. He's going to try the exit, and he's good job to defend there. Left line through that corner, and he is still there though. Going to try. He's going to wait for a chance. Is flying at 55.4, which is a good 3/10 quicker than what Ross went in quali. So that is a very rapid time. That is quicker once again than the pole time. So 2 out of the 3, 2 out of 2 so far have been quicker than pole. So far, Pagani 4. In the first race, and P2 is here as well, halfway through this race nearly. And I think these 7 will start to get bored of looking at each other's rear shortly. Custer's P8, and there's that battle. Lennon trying to defend from SUI. SUI trying to go the long way around. That'll be very. The outside doesn't seem to work there at all. We tried it yesterday as well. I think I tried it as well. It did not work at all. I haven't seen any movement there. Oh, blue. Hot headed than the blue flag. No mistakes. Ross 56.2. Down a little bit. But decent little healthy gap now. Of a second to Lionesi. A second round other tracks isn't a healthy gap. Round Tsukuba, it's a pretty healthy gap actually, a second. It being so tight, a second is quite good round here to have. But yeah. Second round here is even 2 or 3 second gap round elsewhere. It's FTRL train at Central at the moment. Where you look, there's a train. First to the second best, but why that wasn't? See, that's what I mean. Sometimes with this track, some people try those kind of moves. They're a wee bit too ambitious. And so I tried to pop his nose in. It was a wee bit late. Lennon kind of saw him coming. Lennon's trying to get past Kuska, and he is past Kuska at P8. Good move from Lennon, and Kuska's very wide on the outside. That's going to allow SVY down the inside as well. So SVY going to try and go through. Maybe even blue flag as well. Kuska going to try and defend the outside. Lennon's a little bit wide as well. Kuska's dropped down at P11, and blue flag, SVY and Lennon all past him. Kuska loses 3 positions in the space of 2 corners. Best few corners for Kuska. Ross 2.5 seconds in the lead now. T. Smith still extending that gap to Pagani now. He's got past Lionesi while we've been watching that, and Lionesi still under attack now from Lee Cole. Aaron's going to try and get past Lee Cole as well. Lee Cole trying to get past Lionesi. Aaron being a little bit ambitious, trying to get past Lee Cole. Opportunistic move from Aaron. It's going to be a drag race down. They're in the same car into the final corner. Aaron on Lee Cole. I think they're going to go still side by side. Aaron's got the move, I think. He's up into P5. Lee Cole's going to try the undercut though and try down the inside into the first corner. Lee Cole dives down the outside. Aaron tries to defend the outside line. They're going to go side by side. Lee Cole, I think, might just have this. He does indeed. He's managed to defend it. Excellent defending from Lico, who keeps that P5. They're all very close together. Look how close they are. Oh, dearie me. And behind, there's the train. Where you look, there's a train. Welcome to Tsukuba. This is why it's more of a karting track as Tsukuba, but you can drive group fulls. Group fulls the limit for Tsukuba. You can't do any further than group fulls. You don't want to drive group threes on this track. They're just too quick. It's too tight track, too small a track for anything fuller, anything more powerful than a group four. They're just too powerful. It's a group 4 track at best. It's Tsukuba. Right. Pagani kind of catch up to the back of T. Smith. Ross seems to be under control. Very quick times. A couple laps in the 56, but the vast majority in those 55. Very impressive race so far from Ross. SVY does not seem to be at his usual pace this evening. I remember he did say on comms he was a bit worried about his pace round here. It doesn't seem to be where it usually is, SVY. I don't think it's the car, especially seems to go right round here, but I think SVY doesn't really enjoy round here. He seems to be struggling a little bit more than usual. He's trying to pass Lennon here. He's trying to wiggling each way. The outside of Lennon. Lennon defends that. He's still there. He's just about there. Lennon. SVY. How didn't he touch there? Oh, SVY gives Lennon a shove now, side by side now, and at this corner. Oh, how is there not been a crash? He's still there, Lennon. He's still there. Down into the inside he goes. SVY defends outside. Lennon has got the run on him. They're still side by side as they come towards the final corner. They've basically been side by side the entire lap. Lennon keeps it now. SVY's going to SVY's trying back down the inside. Oh, here he goes again. The battle commences once again. Lap 17. Round the outside, SVY goes. Right, can we give it up? Right, he's given up, I think now. A part of that was full lap. Some good racing around Tsukuba. Pagani is catching up to back at T. Smith now. He's in slipstream range. That's closed up. Bringing the pack back quick. That gap T. Smith has is close. Ross's last few laps dropped off a little bit, but he's still a decent gap there. Back in 55 now. Back in 55 for Ross. With the fastest lap of the race, 5-4 now, which is the fastest lap we've seen so far around Tsukuba over the 2 days. So far, 5-4 for Pagani. Very good lap. Right there now, T-Smith. How was it fast though? T-Smith was excellent defending. This track is easy. So this is going to be a test here of Pagani's overtaking skills. 5-6 rapid times going out for Pagani. He's got his bit between his teeth at the moment. I think P2 is the best he can hope for though. Down to Ross. Bit of a big one to bridge here in Tsukuba. Ross has a 3 laps to go after this one. 3.5 laps to go for Ross. Pagani's right there now. This is the closest he's been. He's right there. get a good exit, a wee bit of slipstream. He might be a chance into turn 1 here. Good exit to Pagani. He's close in 2 attempts and he's going to get the slipstream. He's going to start closing ever so slightly. He's very, very close into the final corner. Pagani goes for a wide line. He's going to go for the cutback. And he's going to get a good exit out the outside. He's going to try and close in. He is closing. He's closing quickly into him. It goes defensive. T Smith to the inside. Pagani goes to the outside. T Smith defends. It's so easy to defend around here. Oh, Pagani's proper confident. Oh my god. Committed is not the word to describe that. That was on the limit from Pagani. That was proper foot to the floor. I don't care I'm on the grass. I'll do it anyway. A bit ragged that bit from Pagani there. That's dropped him off the back of T Smith. It's one of those places. How do you get past round here? Where do you go? It's so easy to defend. You go to the outside of turn 1. The person defends the inside. It's just, you're not going to get round the outside of turn 1. In the next corner, you defend the inside. You don't get round the outside. Same at the hairpin. Really, it's one of these impossible tracks. How do you do it? Race 3 will be interesting to say the least here. 2 laps to go. Ross comfortably in the lead. T Smith, decent race. P2 for him, consistent as always. Lionesi, P4, solid race from him. Recall, good race from him. P5 in the mix with the big guns. And this top 7 are light years ahead of the rest of the field round here this evening. By far the quickest. The guys behind are in the SUI, very inconsistent, and the 55s, then he's in the 56, then he's in a 57 the odd lap. This group in the top 7 are well ahead of the group behind. It's going to make for an interesting next race when it's the reverse grid, so they're going to have to get past then Pagani. 1 lap to do this here, very tight, nice line through sector 1. Possibly get a run through here. Has to fly. He's absolutely flung it in there, Pagani, right on the back of him, right to the inside. His line out though from T Smith. I think he's got covered. Ross though round the final corner he comes. He's led from turn 1 to the very end. Dominant victory. What a win from Ross. T Smith just ahead of Pagani. Lionesi P4, Lee Cole P5, Aaron P6, Cartman's P7. Big gap behind then comes SVY and Blue Flag, then Kuska, and then Lennon in P11. Unsafe and Brent, very close line, P12, P13. So there we go. Ross takes the victory for race 2, Aaron for race 1, Ross for race 2. On to race 3 we go then for your reverse grid. Ross will be starting at the back. One person to note, you will have Aaron starting in about P7, which is not too far back, considering we saw his pace in race 1. It's one of those tracks, you get stuck behind people, your pace will dramatically drop off, and we saw that there for quite a few of them. Stuck behind someone, yeah, your pace is massively affected. Can we get 3 different victories then? I think we will. I think we will indeed have 3 different victories. Who it will be, I am not sure, but I don't think we'll have Aaron or Ross winning race 3. I think we'll have another Victor for race 3. I think some of these guys in the back end, I think SVY will be hoping for a good race 3. He's had a pretty torrid night by SBY standards, unsafe, has possibly had one of the worst nights he's had in years in GT Sport. That Hyundai seems like a bit of a handful round here. He's not enjoying himself at all round Tsukuba in that Hyundai. He's having an absolute torrid evening, SBY, and unsafe release. I think they'll just be hoping for a good race here. Unsafe's got a chance, he can get away, but he's going to need to be much quicker than he's been in the first two races. A couple of these newbies that have started, well, I'll say they're newbies, they've been in for a while now this season, but Cartman and Lioness seem to be very much towards the front of the grid, well in the mix, with the big guns in GT. I think my points about unsafe might be valid, as he just put in the chat, want to change the trap. Seems to be enjoying himself. One of those weeks, just forget about it. It's one of those tracks. It's just some people find it absolutely awful and hate it. And to a much wider, big more open track in Kyoto Yamagiwa, which is pretty much the complete opposite of this track. In terms of, this track's quite narrow. Kyoto is extremely wide. Turn 1, there's enough to fit about 7 cars. In a line through Kyoto. Around here you struggle to get 2 or 3 cars around a corner sometimes. So a complete change for next week, and then you've got Brands, which is a not the easiest track, I shall say. Can't say I'm looking forward to Brands myself. Punished at Brands for any wee mistake. You're off on that grass and you're doing some grass cut. Not easy one bit. There's Brands. It'll be an interesting one next week though, with those curbs at Kyoto Yamagiwa. There'll be cars that will excel on those curbs more than others, and there'll be some cars that really don't enjoy those curbs at all. Next week, 2 weeks to go then after this, till the end of the GT Sport for FTRL. And then the transition starts onto the new game. It sounds like though, I think most of the multiplayer will be staying the same on the new game. Hopefully, I think the rumours are, I think there will be bigger lobbies now, 30. So that's a rumour confirmed. But there's 16 at the moment in a lobby in GT Sport. There should be more than that though coming from the new game, which will make a big difference. It'll mean we won't have to have as many divisions. Still think there might possibly be 2 divisions for FTRL, so that's not confirmed, I have no idea. But maybe we'll just still do 2 divisions, even there is bigger numbers for the new game. So starting here we go for your final race of the evening. Complete reverse grid. So starting in front will be Fred and Unsafe, starting at the back will be Tom and Ross. Final race of the evening, where we have 3 completely different winners. It's happened quite a few times this season in both divisions. So there we are. Bread is going to lead us away for race 3. He has won race so far this season, Bread. Here we go. As we're about to get underway then, race 3 off and away. Bread off from P1, and he seems to have a decent launch as well. He's going to lead into turn 1. unsafe release is there on the inside though. Bread's round the outside, unsafe. Will try and nip past. Bread is just about in the lead though, and he's going to have the inside line for the next turn, which means Bread, unsafe, is going to try and hang around the outside though, and then there's Lennon as well, but I think Bread has managed to defend that lead. Lennon is past unsafe release into P2. Oh, Bread's been nudged off a little bit there, as he has been, or he's just went off on his own accord. This is about 4 or 5 wide into the hairpin. Lennon, Kusker, Bread, SBY, absolute tail. Why are they trying to go 5-6 right? Pagani's been caught up in that, and so is Lee Cole. They all kind of got caught up in that drama. Why they're trying to go 4 or 5 wide at the hairpin, I will never know. Lennon leads us on to lap 2 from Kusker. Unsafe releases P3. Then we've got SUI and P4. Blue flag comes P5. He's trying to get over to now by Lionessi. He goes side by side. Blue flags off. John Lionessi into P5. Then comes Aaron, who's been attacked by Cartman. Aaron defends though. T Smith though trying to have a go at Cartman now possibly. Cartman defends from T Smith. Then comes Ross. Big gap back to Pagani. He's got work to do. Then comes Bread. And unfortunately Lico, I think, got caught up a bit in that drama as well. Drama in the opening lap then. Here, the final race at Tsukuba. Lennon is in the lead though for race 3 as he's about to make his way onto lap 3. Kusker P2, then comes Unsafe and SBY, hoping for a good race to end a disappointing evening. Unsafe release though, drops down into P4. He's dropped down though, and he's now been overtaken by Lionessi by the look of it. Lionessi up into P3, Unsafe down to P4. Then comes blue flag. Lennon, oh, it's Lennon who's dropped down. Sorry, there's been Lennon's had an incident as well. That's looks there. Lennon drops down at a P9, P10 shortly as well. Lennon contact clearly, or something happened, possibly Unsafe, not sure. But Kusker is in the lead from SBY now. Lionessi is P3, then Unsafe releases P4, blue flag P5, then comes Aaron in P6. So Kusker leads us on to lap 4. SUI is right behind him, very close. And to turn on the go, Kusker keeps in front. SUI right behind. It's squirmy there. Very squirmy on the entry and exit from SUI. Watch though, when they go too committed, you might end up making a mistake. The best thing with Tsukuba is just drive at your own pace. But really ambitious moves around here is it can be frustrating to get stuck behind someone, but cause an instance or anything like that, so just sit behind sometimes and wait for an overtake. 55.5 for Aaron, rapid as he catches up to the back of blue flag. He's got a big chance here, Aaron, if he can get past. He has got blue flag to get past, who is an absolute bus, as we've seen numerous times already this evening. SUI and Lionessi still trying to pass Kusker. Lionessi is in a very good position, you know the pace he has. He's in P3 already, only 2 men in front of him. An eye on this battle with Aaron and Pagani though. Aaron and blue flag, sorry, Pagani's weak on the order still. He's got up to P9 actually. Making his way through. But he's still got a lot to do, Pagani. Kusker though, still in the lead. Fed from SUI and Lionessi. Kusker was in the 56s in his quality time. He's just done 55.8. Lionessi down the inside of SBY. SBY saw him coming, gave him the room. Now he's going to try and come back at him. No, they're side by side into the next corner. SBY and Lionessi. Lionessi defends the inside line. Oh my gosh. What's going on? Bumping and barging going on. Yeah, between line SE and SEY. Blue flag, unsafe release. What is right? Getting a wee bit hit up someone here, I think. Someone just need to take a breath and calm down a bit. A lot of barging, a lot of unnecessary taps and braking zones and things. Aaron round the outside a blue flag, and he's shoved off. In fact, that blue flag has given him place. So Aaron up into P5, blue flag down to P6, then comes T Smith and P7. Blue flag, yeah, he's just letting him pass. I think he's deceived as blue flag. Cusker still in lead, got a big gap now to Lion Essie. After that instantly SBY, then comes unsafe release and Aaron. Let's have a little look for Lion Essie and SBY. Messi on the previous laps, see what happens now. Well, close together, Lion Essie has got past though, so it does seem to be pretty bad this evening. SBY struggling. Back at Lion Essie. See what it does though in traffic. 55.5, 55.9, and then he caught up to him, and then his next lap was a 57.1. 57.1.5 seconds slower than the previous 2 laps before. Drop off when you're in traffic is ridiculous around here. Absolutely ridiculous. Aaron, an unsafe, made a mess of that. Aaron doesn't want to go round the outside round there though, so he backs off. He's being absolutely massively held up here. Unsafe releases slowed Aaron right down, and Aaron really needs to get past here. This is very important for Aaron's race. This is a must do, must make move for Aaron. Oh, an unsafe release. It's more a matter of time though. Aaron is just so much more quicker than unsafe this evening. I think as soon as he gets a chance, he'll get past. Unsafe release just isn't getting the apexes at all. He's missing those apexes completely. Miles wide again. He's just driving. Unlike unsafe release, and he's defend again from Aaron, and then Aaron is wise to it though, and he's going to try and get past. He's holding him up so much, is unbelievable. T Smith is now directly behind him, and he was off the lead, Aaron, and he was actually quite close to the back of it. Look at this train that unsafe release has caused. He's directly at the front of him, and he's not giving that place up. He's holding them all up, and Aaron now, he's going to get a run on him into turn 1. This is the chance. Aaron down the inside. He's going to go for it. Unsafe release defends though. Aaron side by side. This is it. Can he get past? Unsafe release is going to defend. Aaron round the outside. He's still there. Unsafe release. He's still holding off. Look at the drama he's causing behind. He's causing 2 or 3 wide behind. He's been an absolute bolt in front of them. Aaron's lost 2 seconds in the last lap to the cars in front. Trying to get past. In fairness, unsafe doesn't have to yield. He's 56 seconds, but he doesn't have to yield unsafe release. It's 4th position, so Aaron's gonna struggle, but he's under no obligation unsafe to release to move out of the way here. He's in a battle. He doesn't have to move at the end of the day. Oh, unsafe. Is that lagging? Unsafe release is lagging. Unless that's just my screen, but he is lagging. That's not just me, he is lagging. He's deeply low. That's not good lag either, that's pretty awful lag. He's waiting now. Oh, is he lagged? What is going on here? I don't know. Answer. I don't actually know where he is. Oh, I'm going to go here. off, I don't know. Kuska is P1 still. Oh, he's lagged completely out now. I think that might be for the best actually. He was teleporting everyone. Kuska still in the lead, then he got Lionessy right behind him though. And then comes SUI. These three are going to battle halfway through this race. Behind SUI comes Aaron, then T. Smith and Pagani. So Aaron finally released. Ross is your daddy battling for Pagani. And Ross your daddy wins out in P6, Pagani in P7. And then Cartman comes behind. So they are catching this top group. Lionessy is a really quick driver though, we're seeing this evening. And he is the quickest out of these three this evening at least, so can he get past? It's right on the back of Kuska. Lionessy, oh, he's pushing Kuska around the corner near enough. SUI having a much better evening, a much better race, sorry, this evening than the previous two. He was beating Michaels down on what he usually is. Has got a chance to put that right. But it was exactly what I'd done. I had a great race one, a horrendous race two, but put it back together, race three. Sometimes you just need to clear your head and get a new chance, a new race, and it's your chance to redeem yourself for the previous two races. Race 3, he's done a good job so far, SUI, this race. Aaron is absolutely flying though compared to these group of three who are doing 56.2, is 55.6. It's a full 6 times quicker. And round Tsukuba, 6 times is a massive amount to be going quicker than someone. It's a huge amount of time around here. 56.1 again. And Aaron sets the quickest lap of the race in a 55.4. 7 times quicker around a 55-second lap is massive. He is on the way. 55.4. So that's all 3 races quicker than pole. The pole time. Very impressive. 55.4 for Aaron. Pagani is still in P7, he's still battling Ross. Line motion down there all race. And it doesn't seem going particularly quickly either. Oh, I actually forgot you've got COVID at the moment, unsafely. I forgot about that. No practice, car and track combination, and COVID symptoms. Yeah. Forget about it, mate. It happens. Every one of us have had a night like that. Combination of things, no practice, things like that. It's, yeah. Forget about it, move on. Next week, new week. Got Kyoto. Pagani, right behind Ross. Still, back up to T. Smith then, and then Aaron is. See, Aaron's flying would be an understatement at the moment. He is an absolute rocket ship. He has closed 2.4 seconds in 3 laps. This is lightning quick stuff from Aaron here. And the thing is though, what he does when he gets here is SBY, now he's from Kuska, and then it's Lionessy. So it's how Aaron goes about this. He is the quickest out of these 4 by far, but can he get past is going to be the question here. We've got 5 minutes, and well, we've got 3 cars to pass. To be fair, 5 minutes sometimes isn't enough to get past 1 car. Why? Or race 3 can he redeem himself and get a win in race 3. Aaron right on the back of Lionessy. that's where race 3, they're all fighting for position, so they don't want to give up their places at the start of the race, so they fight tooth and nail, and it tracks round the like this. It's just makes faster guy's job absolutely 10 times harder. And Aaron is stuck now behind Lionesi. Lionesi a little bit wide. And give Aaron a chance. The slipstream. It's a good last corner. See if we get a run on him. I think it's through these four. Done really well this race. T-Smith consistent as always. Ross had a decent night as well. Pagani having a decent night. All these cars behind Aaron have all had a pretty decent night. Lionesi's had a decent night as well, to be fair. SY is managing to put it all together though in race 3. Oh, he's running a 55.5 SY, which is, I think, about half a second quicker than what he done in quali. Definitely, those quali times are not representative, I think, of quite a lot of the lap times. A lot of them are at least a tenth or two off what they usually do. Yeah. That's also seen by every single lap, every single race they beat the quali time as well. By numerous people, I think, as well. It's just one person has beat the quali time each race. There's been quite a few. Cusker. Here. Never really realised Lionesi was kind of there. So this is slowing Aaron right down here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Aaron's off the track. He's survived though. He has survived. He is off the track. And he'll come back on. We've got what to do now. These three. Still the top 3, SVY, Cusker and Lionesi. And that's what I mean, with the results in race 3, people can just get their head down, and people who might have struggled previously on the evening can just have a good race. Lionesi, that's not the best move I've ever done, mate. Just hit Cusker. Back foot, to be fair, but I think Tsukuba just tends to tend to get impatient with Tsukuba. It's one of those tracks that's dead short and twisty, and sometimes I think people get stuck behind people for so long that sometimes they just get that hot-headed and make mistakes that maybe they might not usually make. I think we've seen that a couple of times last night with some people that usually make mistakes that tracks, but it's just one of a kind, really. Aaron back on the move at 55.6. So we'll start coming back at them again. Lionesi still fighting Cusker. The thing is though, they're all slowing each other down so much right now. They're all Lionesi doing 55.9s, 56.5s, things like that. So they're just fighting so hard that it's right down. Ross and Paul are battling each other. Pagani's trying to get in the action as well around the outside. Ross says he's genuinely pushing his teammate around the track at the moment. He's walking away past here. Oh, Pagani around the outside of Ross. Oh, Ross is going to have to try and defend this for us. Well, Pagani around the outside. It's not really happening for anyone around the outside. Pagani. It's having Ben. Pagani taps T-Smith. It's on the final lap. Pagani battling with T-Smith and Ross. I'm not even looking at the battle for this one. sticking with this battle. P5, P6 and P7. Ross have been overtook now by Pagani. We'll jump forward and have a look at what's happening. Aaron's caught back up. SBY though is coming round to take the final few corners. Aaron right on the back of line. SCT Smith has P5. Pagani's got P6. Ross is P7 now. SBY round the final corner. And he's going to take race 3. And I must say, he probably thought that was unlikely himself after his first 2 races. What a result for SBY in race 3. Kuska, great result. P2 for Kuska. Lioness, he takes a podium. Aaron P4. Good, great evening for Aaron, to be fair. T Smith P5. Pagani P6. Then comes Ross, Cartman, Blue Flag, Lee Cole, Lennon, and then Fred. After those first 2 races, that will be a relief for SBY, who takes race 3. Great result for him. And Kuska, and also a fantastic result for him. Not sure if he's got a podium before, has he? I'm not sure, but anyway, absolute fantastic result for him as well. And there we go, 3 different winners. Amount of times it's happened this season. And that concludes the end of your GT1 races. As I say, we're back next week with your Kyoto, Yamagiwa, and then final week is Brands Hatch. So thank you very much for joining me this evening, and have a nice evening, and I will see you again same time next week.